I am Elder Dr. Jim Bostic, Executive Director of Nepperhan Community Center in Yonkers, but also Associate Pastor at the Union Baptist Church, which is in New Rochelle, New York. And today I want to talk about God in America. When we look back in the history of America and the roots of our country, we will clearly see that our forefathers were men and women of great faith. They understood that God had to be an integral part of their developing this nation and growing this nation into the kind of country that we have become. So when you look even at our Constitution, and when you look at in Washington, you look at our currency, you will see "In God We Trust." And although there has been many attempts from people to have that removed from our currency and off the walls of Congress, it is God that His hand has been upon this nation and has helped us and guided us to become the nation that we are. His Spirit has been alive and well in our country and has existed before the foundation of time. And so when we have those persons and people within our country that says there is no God, but yet they have a void in their life, there is that thing in their life that they are constantly seeking. It is the Spirit of God that they are seeking, that they just don't understand and know that it is God that they need. And so consequently, they try to fill that void with money and with success and with things, but they are never, ever satisfied. That's why you see so many people who have achieved all of those things, great amounts of money and success and notoriety, but don't have God in their life, that are jumping off buildings, that are taking pills, that are putting guns to their head, that are doing all of these things to end their life because they've never found the void that has been lacking in their life, when that void has always been the Spirit of the living God. So I believe that when you look at America, like any other empire that has existed in the world since the beginning of time, I believe that America only stands today because of the faith of our fathers in God and our forefathers, and many of us who are still living, who believe in God, who pray to God on a daily basis. I believe that's the only reason why America has managed to stand these years. It is not that we have an arsenal of nuclear weapons or that we have a great intelligence above all other nations in the world. It is simply and singularly because of the faith that we have had in God. And I do believe it is that faith that has sustained us. It is that faith in God that has kept us. And here's a perfect example. Many years ago, students were allowed to pray in our public school systems if they so chose to do so. However, because of one lawsuit at the Supreme Court, they took prayer out of schools. And when you look at the decline of our public schools in America, it began right and shortly after the period when we took God out of our schools and children could no longer pray to the Almighty God. So I believe that, first of all, we should put prayer back in our schools. When you see people walking into school buildings and shooting our kids like they're targets on a target range, and when you see some of the egregious kinds of things that are happening within our public schools all across America, I think it's time to wake up and understand that it is because that we have taken God out of our public schools. And whenever you take God out of anything, evil will prevail. So I encourage America and our elected officials to think really hard about putting prayer back into our schools, allowing children who want to take a moment to offer up a moment of prayer for themselves, for their families, for their schools, for their teachers, for their principals. I believe that they should do that. I also believe that America should be grateful unto God. How is it that you can't mention prayer in a public school and in certain public places? It's taboo to mention God. But when 9/11 hit America and those planes went through the World Trade Center, all over America, we saw signs of "In God We Trust." We saw Congress holding special prayer vigils. Why is it that we call on God when we're in trouble, but He's not a part of our daily lives? So I believe that when we make God a part of our daily walk and everything that we do in our life, when He's a part of everything that happens in the White House, and when He's a part of everything that happens in both branches of our Congress, when He's a part of our public school system, when He's a part of our business communities, when He's a part of our everyday life in America, I believe that America once again will emerge as the supreme nation in the world, not because of our wealth, not because of our weaponry, but because of our faith in God. So in closing, I encourage all of us to know that there is a God. When you walk out of your house and you look up in the sky, who put the clouds in the sky? Who put the stars in the sky? Who put the sun and the moon in the sky? It was not man. Who is responsible for the water that you see, the oceans and the seas and the mountains and the earth full of beautiful trees and forests that man is destroying because of greed and wealth? Who is responsible for the very air that you breathe? Who is responsible for the complexities of your body? It was not man, it was an almighty God. Let us keep God in our daily lives. Let us keep God in our family lives. Let us keep God in our education lives. Let us keep God in our political lives. And let's keep God in our business community. And watch how great America will really be. Not because a president says he wants to make America great again, but because our faith in God has made America great again. Thank you.